the last class I had in SQL, we covered some interview questions. I don't know if you guys got a chance to take a look at it. Let me show you. Yeah, please work on it. And give me 1 second. So everyone should have access to this folder. No, not this. Yeah, everybody should have access to this folder, but I uploaded all the assignments starting from the first assignment. I uploaded all the assignment. I uploaded this assignment today. So go through this assignment. So I covered actual interview questions, which my students were asked in the last 1 year. Okay. And we covered everything. I know some of you dropped out during the Saturday class because it went on a little longer. But if you go through this, I covered everything here. Okay. So that was the last SQL class. So today we will look at a little bit of PLSQL. So I'll be following this. I'll be following this schedule here, these topics here, and I will not be covering everything. Okay, because there's plenty of material online, YouTube and Google and all of those. So I will be covering all of these, but I will not be going in depth, because if I start going into depth, this training would take over 4 months. Okay. So yeah, so I'll be covering some of this. I won't take more than 4 classes for PLSQL. I heard somebody say that they're not sure if I'll be able to complete PLSQL in a week. No, I will not be teaching everything. Okay. So because this is not kindergarten where I have to teach everything like A, B, C, everything, and then no, you have to start looking into things yourself. SQL, I covered everything. SQL, I covered everything. Every single topic I covered in SQL. Okay, I covered every single topic here on the left side. And apart from this, I covered some extra from Tech on the Net. PLSQL, I will not be covering a lot, probably 3 to 4 classes. And then Informatica, I will be covering everything. Is that clear to everyone?
Hey, Abdul, really quick question. So on PLSQL, are you not covering everything, or will you be covering the stuff that we will be needing on the job? Or would you recommend even after your class, we go through this website right here, all of it, because we're going to need for the job? Can you give some direction on that, please?
So the previous 9 batches, I did not teach them even one single word of SQL, and they're all working. So you can get an idea on that. So PLSQL is not being used a lot these days. PLSQL is not being used a lot these days. Okay, but there are still a lot of job requirements which are asking for PLSQL. So the previous 9 batches, I did not teach PLSQL. This is the first class I'm teaching PLSQL in the last 2.5 years. So I will be showing you the basic stuff here. I'll be showing you some programs, the programming concepts in PLSQL, and then you would have to go through all of these. Okay, I'll be covering all of these, but I'm not going to take more than four days of PLSQL. Is that clear?
Abdul, it's Abdul. This is my first class I joined.
Okay, is this Qayyum?
Yeah, Abdul Qayyum.
Okay. Yeah, so the
So
previous.
yeah, where we can this videos PLSQL.
What was that?
The PLSQL videos that you can watch later on.
Yeah, I'm recording this class.
No, not this one. The other topics that you said you will not cover, like the advanced topic of PLSQL. There's any videos or?
Over here, do you see all these topics? You should be knowing all of these topics. You can go to YouTube and search for. Just go to YouTube. There is everything there on YouTube.
Okay.
So
because I don't have this. If you could.
So this guy has good videos on PLSQL.
Yes, Q, let me write it. Give me 1 second.
So you can watch his videos. So he has like bunch of videos. So once again, I did not show PLSQL for any of the previous batches, but this all have a job. It's just that if you know PLSQL, you will have a better chance of getting a job. So if you go to his view list, so Python, Oracle, okay, here PLSQL. He has like 87 videos on
Okay.
PLSQL. So starting from here, he has like, these are like 4 or 5 minutes videos. He has
Okay.
like 87 88 videos for PLSQL. Okay. He teaches other topics too. He teaches like SQL, LPAD, RPAD, intersect and minus, union. Or I covered all of these, right? Sequence, Oracle View. So I covered all of these. Grants, create user joins, inner join, left join, right join. He covers all of this. He has
Okay.
PLSQL as well. So you can just pick up a topic, and check on YouTube like how to do cursors in PLSQL, how to do exceptions, how to do triggers, triggers. I already covered.
Your
Triggers
triggers
I
and
covered.
years in this.
Yeah, I covered this in depth. Like how to display on the screen and how to insert it, how to insert the change records into another table, audit table. So I covered that in detail. So not too many concepts. Once again, I did not teach this for the previous batches, but I'm teaching it for these batches only because your job chances are higher if you know PLSQ.
Abdul is my first day. Could you also share with me the previous
What's your name?
Abdul Qayyum?
Yeah, what do you want?
Because I was not there in SQL. I did SQL, I know, but I just want to make sure to
I
go through
already,
again, your
I,
videos if you could share with
I,
me.
I already shared everything with you.
Uh, oh, the one that you sent it.
See, you're here. Check your email, guys. Do you guys not know how to use Google Drive? See, I already shared with you all of these SQL recordings.
Oh, okay, got it. Because I didn't open. I got 2 emails from
You
you
have
today.
to, yes, you have to go
Okay,
into
got
that,
it.
click on it, check if you have access, then ask me if you don't
Okay.
have access. Okay, please do put in some effort when you check something. Okay, okay. Let
Abdul,
me.
the video you showed, the video of Manish Sharma, it's on YouTube.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. So I'm not going to be covering the data. Let me start with the basic syntax. So why do we need PLSQL? So I'll give you a real-time example. Okay, at my work, we load data into 110 tables. Actually, we load data into, okay, so we don't load data into 40 tables. Okay, after we load data into 40 tables, I want to go through all the tables and I want to check all the columns where we have where we have -2. Okay, I want to go through Abdul table and I want to go through employee and name and see where I have -2. I want to go to the birthday table. I want to see where employee ID is -2, name is -2, retirement is -2. So I cannot write, I can do one way. So this is one way I can do. It select star from HR dot Abdul underscore 3 underscore 11 where temp ID equals -2. Then I can go to another where name equals -2. Then I can say select star from birthday where I so how many other columns I have and tables I can write so many number of queries. But in PLSQL you don't have to do that. In PLSQL you can loop through each table and each column and check for that value. Okay, and then you can display it or load it into another table or load it into a file. Okay, so this is one practical example. You can loop through all the tables and all the columns and look for a specific value. You don't have to write queries like this. Like if you have 1000, if you have 10 tables and 10 tables have 10 columns each, you won't have to write 100 statements like select star from table where column equals to this, select star from table where column equals to this, select star from table where employee ID, select star from birthday where name equals to minus. You don't have to write that. You will just write one simple block. It will loop through all the tables and all the columns and check for that value. Is that clear? Difference between SQL and PLSQL. This is one real-time example we have. Okay.
Abdul,
Yeah.
Abdul, I have a question. Like, just for my understanding, like I always thought, like, please correct me if I'm wrong, that PL SQL is basically the language we use for Oracle, and just like we use T SQL for Microsoft SQL Server, right? So is that the only difference in the two, or there are like some more? And what we've been doing up till now, like the SQL, because that we were already doing on Oracle database. So how the PL SQL is different from that SQL what we were doing up till now?
Yeah, I just explained. SQL is used to query tables, right? SQL is used to query tables like this, right? SQL is a query. Select star from HR.
But PL SQL we can only use it on Oracle database, right?
PLSQL can only be used on Oracle database. TSQL can be used in is used in SQL Server. So for
Yes.
Oracle, so the programming language for Oracle database is PLSQL. The programming language for Microsoft is TSQL. They look very similar. I use TSQL at work, and it's very similar to what we are going to be doing in PLSQL. Not much of a difference.
Okay.
Like in SQL, in Oracle, and SQL Server, like in Oracle, you have dual, right? Select star from dual. In SQL Server, you don't have dual. Okay. In
Yes.
Oracle, you have substring. In PLSQL, you
Right.
don't have substring. And in Oracle, you have, like for example, what else? What is it? Sysdate. Okay, you have sysdate in Oracle, and in PLSQL, you have getDate. You have getDate. So there are minor differences between SQL in Oracle and SQL in Microsoft SQL Server. Similarly, for PLSQL, the programming side, there is also slight differences. So there is PLSQL in Oracle and then TSQL in Microsoft SQL Server.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank you, Abdul.
no problem. So let's not spend too much time on PLSQL because we placed 17 people. They don't know PLSQL, but I'm just doing it because a lot of your chances increase. Your chances increase when you know PLSQL. Okay. So I gave you one real-time example. I have to query all the tables and all the columns and look for this value. I can write. I have 10 tables and 10 table. Each table has 10 columns, so I can write. I can write 100 select statements on each table and each column, but you can do it simply with the help of cursor and loops. You can use cursor and loops, and it will loop through each table and each column and display the value. Okay, we will cover that later. So let me start with the basic PLSQL block. Okay, so the PLSQL block, you need to have three. It's made up of three things. Okay, first you have declare, begin, exception, and end. Okay, so you need to have a declare, begin, and exception, and this is how you end a PLSQL block. Okay, this one and this one is optional. Okay, this is compulsory, this is mandatory, and this is optional. Is that clear? You have declare, begin, and exception, and you always have to end a PLSQL block. So I'm going to write a simple PLSQL block right now. Okay, so this is optional. This is optional. I'm going to start with begin. This is mandatory. So I can write begin. So I want to display on the screen hello class. So I will write. So how do I display something on the screen? We did this during triggers, right? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Do you guys remember the syntax for triggers? So that's what we did in the class. So I will write dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and in this one I will say and then I will say end. Okay, I said dbms underscore output dot put underscore line and hello class. See, this is just a PLSQL block I wrote. Okay, it does not have any name. It is not stored in the database. For example, how I write select employee underscore ID first underscore name from HR dot employees. Right, this doesn't get saved in the database, right? This doesn't get saved in the database. It's just displaying. Similarly, I wrote this PLSQL block and I execute this. Okay. Sorry, it's not double quote. Okay, let me clear this out. So I will see PLSQL procedure procedure completed successfully, but I don't see this message on the screen, right? I'm supposed to display this message on the screen. So for that, you just have to type this one time, set server out, sorry, set server output on, and execute this. Okay. So once you execute this, now when you execute this, it will say hello class. Okay. Should always execute this just one time. So if you have this session opened for like 1 hour, you don't even have to. So the moment you close this and you log in again, so for example, let me close this. Let me close this entire session. And if I log in again, it will again not display hello class on the screen because that session was closed. The procedure will execute successfully, but it will not display anything on the screen. So just give me 1 second. I don't know. When I execute this, say it does not display on the screen. So I will have to execute this again. And when I execute now, it will display on the screen. Is that clear? Give me 1 second. Okay, so now, so once again, when I execute this, it will not, if it's not displaying anything on the screen, you have to execute this. Is that clear?
Yep, same like other.
Okay, now, so like I said, declare, begin, and exception is what we usually use, and end, but this is optional, this is optional. So I wrote something with just a begin, okay? Now I can write another unnamed block. This is called as a block without a name. So it's an unnamed block. Okay, so I will write the value of A is, okay, so I'll execute this. It will say the value of A is 10, right? Now I don't want to write 10 here. Okay, for example, I have something like this. I have something like the value of, so I have something like this, okay? So I displayed this 5 different times. Now I want to display the value of A is 11. So I will have to go to 5 different places and change it to 11, right? So I'll have to go to 5 different places and change it to 11, right? So now I'm displaying it like this. What if I don't want to do that? So I will declare something here. I will declare something here, and instead of that, so I will declare something on the left side. So I will say declare, and I will say A integer equals 10. Okay, so I will say a, 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 sorry, I'll say it as 11. So I will just change it one place over here. Everywhere else it will get changed. Now if I want to display 12 here, so I'm going to just change it one single place, and then I will execute this. Now it will display the value of A is 12. So you understand why the declaration part is important. It's useful. You don't need this, but it's useful because if you declare something over here, you can use this value 100 times in here, and you don't have to. And if you want to change it, you just change it over here, and all the places wherever it is getting used, it will get updated. Is that clear?
Yep.
And look at how I declared it. This is how you declare a variable. Okay, you have to declare a variable like this. Okay, let me start. Try this out. execute the set server out first, and then the simple begin, and then I used declare. I'm going to do exceptions maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But yeah, so is this clear to everyone?
So
Yeah.
in PLSQL, we use integer as compared to instead of number.
You can use integer or number.
Or is it both the same thing? Okay.
Yeah, in when you create tables,
Okay.
so we use integer or number, right? Same thing over here. You can use integer or number. So you can while
Okay. Thank you.
creating a table, you use integer or number. So it's the same thing. But
Okay. Thanks.
in SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server database, you cannot. There is nothing called as a number data type. You will not. So you cannot create a table with a number data type over here. Create table emp underscore test underscore 6_6 16. So there is nothing called as emp id. There is nothing called as number. See, when I execute this, it will fail. So I will have to use integer. So integer will work. See, now I can do select star from this table. Okay, but the same thing if I execute in Oracle database. So if I put number here, it will work. Number will work. Table got created. I can also create integer also. This is another difference between SQL Server. Integer also works here. Okay, in SQL Server, a number does not work. Just remember that. I mean, then nobody will ask you this. Okay, so now if I want to change the value here as 13, so I will just change it outside and I will execute this. And automatically everywhere else it will get changed. So now you see the importance of declaring a variable and using it in the body of the, this is called the body. Okay, this is the body of the block. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, now let me, okay, now what happens? So I can declare this value outside the body and inside the body. Okay, so what happens if I do this? If I said declare a underscore integer equals to 13, then in the body I again say something like this. I say 15 here. Okay, so which one will take preference? So if I execute this, the one inside will take preference of the value then outside. This is called as local. This is called as local variable. This is called as global variable. Okay, so local will always take preference over the global variable. Local declaration will always take preference over global declaration. Is that clear? So try this out. Now, can someone tell me, will this work? Can someone tell
So
me if that will work?
whenever we execute this, it always gives the first preference to the inner one, which is the local variable.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Okay.
That's what I just said. You're just repeating what I just said.
Okay. Thank you.
If you repeat that, it makes me feel that you didn't understand. In this one, 15 will take preference over this because this is a local declaration. This is global declaration. So it will display 15, which is local. Okay, that topic is done. Okay, now tell me what will happen here. Will this work? Will this not work? So I started my block, my unnamed block. This is called as unnamed block because I did not give it a name. It's not stored in the database anywhere. If I close this screen, if I close this will be lost. So for example, I said declare a is integer, and I said a is value 13, and inside I said b equals to 15, and I'm calling b here. Will this work or will this not work?
It should work.
No, it should work.
It will not work.
It will not work.
Why will it not work? Can someone tell me?
Yeah, because it's if C is equal to B, so first the preference is B. B is inside, which is not true. Either both cases is outside.
No. Okay. No, that's not the
Yeah,
right answer.
because we didn't declare it. Yeah.
Correct. We did not declare it.
Right.
Okay. Now this will work. Or if I put 17, it will display 15 here. But if I don't have this, and if I execute this, this will fail. This will say, it will say must be declared. Identifier B must be declared. I did not even declare this. How can I use it? Right? I need to declare this, only then I can use it. See, if I declare this, I declared this over here. Now if I execute this, it will say the value of A is 17. So if I execute this, so if I am using a variable, it has to be declared here. Okay, if I'm using a variable, it has to be declared there. Over here, see, I'm not using any A or B. I'm just hard coding the value 10. So this will work because I don't have any variables here, right? So this will work. See, the value of A is 10, but in this case, if I'm calling a variable here, then it has to be declared. Now, in this case, I declared a variable 17, and locally I'm saying it 15. Which one will it declare? Which one will it return? Will it declare return 17 or 15?
15.
It will declare 15. Why? Because 15 is the local. Don't say inner. Use a, yeah, inner is right, but say local.
Local, yes.
Okay, so A is, so B is, so sorry. Let's say B here. So the value of B is 15. Is that clear? Difference between global declaration versus local declaration?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and once again, if I'm using a variable which I did not define declare, it will again give an error message and it will say B needs to be declared. The identifier B must be declared. You're using something which is not declared. Okay, is that clear to everyone?
Right.
So these are just simple basic concepts right now. Somebody was asking something. Okay, now let me give you this. So we are not declaring it 2 times, Yasin. I'm only declaring this variable B once. Where did I declare it second time? I never declared it second time. Over here, I'm just passing a value. Over here, I'm declaring it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I never declared B 2 times. I'm declaring it once. I'm passing a, over here, I'm declaring variable B and passing value 17. Over here, I'm just passing the value 17. This is not declaring. Can someone tell me what will happen? What will happen now? I will return value.
Green.
I will return value B is 17, right? What happens if I have something like this? have two values for B, 17 and 19. Can someone tell me what will happen? Will it return 17 or 19?
19.
Okay, it will not return anything because you passed more than one value. Is that clear? But let me clear this out and show you. So over here, at most one declaration for B is permitted. Okay, so you're passing two different values, so this will not work. You cannot pass more than one value. Okay, this will return 17. Sorry, clear this out. This will return value of B is 17 because I'm declaring and passing the value 17. But if I declare 17 here and internally, locally, I'm declaring the value 15, then it will again, local declaration will take preference over the global declaration. Okay, so try this out. Guys, save all these queries. Try this out. Ramil, Ramil, Kamran, Ali, you guys following? You guys are quiet today. You guys following? Turab.
Yes, I am following.
Yes, I'm also following.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Okay, good.
We all
good.
try to follow.
Okay, so let's move on. Okay, let me get rid of this. So once again, declare, optional, begin, compulsory, exception, optional, and you always need to end this out and you need to execute this. Okay. Now, let me write another unnamed block. Okay, I'm going to say declare a integer, and I'm going to call this as not null. I'm passing this value. I'm saying a is integer, a is an integer, and it cannot be null, and I'm passing a value 10 to this. I will say begin, and locally I will pass value. Locally I will pass value 5. dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and then I will just say a. Okay, I will just display the value a, and then I will say end, and then I'll execute it. So what will happen now? What will I display? Will I display 10 or 5?
5.
I will display 5. Okay, see, I displayed 5. Now, what happens if I internally say, what happens if I do this? So I'm declaring a global variable and I'm passing the value 10 and I'm saying it's not null. Internally, so will this take preference or will this, what will happen here?
10, I think, right?
No, it will give an
It will-
error message.
Yes.
It should give
It will-
error, right? Because
Yeah.
it's null. That's
Yeah, it will give an error message. It will say expression is of wrong data type. It will say you cannot pass the value null when you already declared. You said, I'm declaring this a as an integer and value is not null. Okay. So you cannot insert values null here, but values, if you give 10 here and 5 here, it will take 5. Is that clear to everyone? So you cannot, so you can put 1 here and this, it will display 1 here. It will display 1. What if I say A, B, C, something like this? Does this work?
No.
So it says this is incorrect. So if I put this in single quotes, even this will not work. Okay, because I'm declaring this as an integer and locally I cannot pass a varchar here. So I can pass any number field here. So the concept I'm trying to show here, if you're declaring something as a not null, local as a global, you cannot pass null here. This is just like you create a primary key constraint on a column in a table and you're trying to insert alphabets in it, or you created a number column and you're trying to pass varchar in it, like you created empid as number and in that you're passing alphabet A.
Yeah.
It
One
will
more
say
thing,
value
Abdul.
not allowed.
Yes. Abdul, one more thing. When you declare a variable, you don't really have to assign a value to it. You can just, I mean, will that work? Like just if you just say declare a integer
You
or
may or
not
may
null.
yeah, you may or may not assign a value here.
Right.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah,
It will
exactly.
again take the global.
Right.
Sorry, it will again take the
Is as long as it's integer value, it will.
okay. No, if I don't say not null, so this will not work. This will work. So this will work. Okay, but if I say not null, then this will not work. Okay, I will have to say some value. When I use the word not null, I will have to say some value. Is that clear? This will work, and this will also work. Okay, if I'm saying integer, this will work, but if I say not null, this will not work. This is incorrect. This will give you an error message, because when you say something as not null, immediately you have to assign a value to it. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
So let me see. Okay. Now, let me write another block. Declare, and I will say a integer, and then I will say 10, and then I will say begin dbms underscore output underscore line, and I will just I won't pass any statements to it. I'll just call this, and then I'll say that. If I execute this, I will get the value 10. Internally, locally, I'm passing a value 5. If I execute this, now I will return a value 5. Now, what happens when I say a constant? Okay, what happens when I do this? So when I say a is a constant, means it will never change. The value, I already assigned this value as 10. It will never ever change. Is that clear?
Yep. Will not take 5.
Yeah. So this will give you an error message. So it will say, you cannot assign value to this. Okay, so you will have to comment this out and execute this. Now it will display. So the moment you use the word constant, local variables is out of question.
Yeah, because it's not variable anymore. It's constant.
It's not a variable anymore. The value of it cannot vary. But if you get rid of this, this will work. This will work. Clear? So this, the moment you type in constant, this a is not a variable anymore. It becomes a constant. Okay. Can you give value 10 here? You're making it a constant as 10, and internally also you're passing the value 10. Will this work?
Yep.
No, it will not work. The moment you make it a constant, if you internally also you pass the same value, it will not take it. Clear?
But if it's not assigned a value globally, then you can say a is equal to 10.
So you're saying something like
Yeah,
this?
right.
No. So the moment you say a not null or integer, you have to assign a value. See, must contain an initialization assignment. The moment you type in constant, not null, okay, you have to assign a value here.
You have to initialize it.
You have to initialize. This is called the initial assignment. You are initializing this variable here. Okay. The moment you type in constant or not null, you have to give it a value here. Is that clear? This will again error out because you said constant and you're trying to change the value. So you're trying to pass this as a variable. No, the moment you say constant, it becomes a. The moment you type constant, it becomes a constant. It's no longer a variable. Is this clear?
Abdul.
Yeah.
Okay, I have like a small like a confusion over there. So is there any like a time that like the A skip the locally and go to the globally, but if there is no constant and null, let's say that you say that declare the A, let's say integer 25, right?
Okay.
As you did before, and
Mhm.
begin, and you say that A is 10. So
Mhm.
is there any way, or is there any like option that like it skip the local and go to the global? Don't take the 10 and go to take the 25.
No, it's because
So
Oracle says this will always take preference over this.
okay, so my question is that like if it doesn't skip this one like a no time, right? Why do we have to write the A is equal to 10 in the local? So we can write without the local, right?
Yeah, you should never write this. I'm just saying if you write this, you will get an error.
Oh, so you want to show the error, so we don't
Yeah,
have to write it all the
yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
Okay.
You will not write this. The moment you say a integer and then you will say if you just want to use the value 25 and you know that this is the value, so internally you will not say anything because it's
Okay.
conflicting, right? Because you're saying something here and doing something. This is the only reason I'm showing this is to show the error message.
Error
Sometimes,
message.
yeah, you guys shouldn't know just how the code works. You should also know the error message. Like when I created constraints, primary key constraints, I tried to insert duplicates and null values, right? You shouldn't be doing that, but I did that to show you. You will see that error messages, right?
But one more thing, this A is equal to 10 will be valid only within this block. So outside, it will be again 25 unless you again declare some local value.
Yeah. So this value is only within this one. I'll come to that later. But for now, just assume that, just remember that this will take a preference over this. Okay, and if you have constant, this will fail. And if you have not null, this will also fail. Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so okay, no, constant will come before integer and not null will come after integer, something like this. Okay, so in this case, even though, so this will not work like this. Okay, the moment you type in the word integer, you have to assign a value. Okay, you can assign any value, and internally you can assign some other value, and then this will take preference over the other one. Sorry. And how do you execute stored procedures? You can highlight the entire thing and click on the play button, or you can just place your cursor here and do this and see, declare, whenever you declare something, you have to end it with a semicolon. When you begin something, you have to end it with a semicolon. Then you can DBMS, you have to have a semicolon. At the end, you have to have a semicolon. So even if you miss out, so this will work. If you miss out this semicolon, it will not work. Okay. Or if you miss out this semicolon, it will not work. Okay. or so you have to end your statements very carefully, because in SQL you sometimes you missed out semicolons and it was okay, right? Like select star from table where employee underscore ID equals to 105, you don't put a semicolon. It's okay, it works. But when you're doing actual programming with PLSQL, you need to have semicolons. Is that clear to everyone?
Yep.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
do we always have to define this data type here? Do you always have to define this data type? Not necessary. For example, so I have this table over here, okay? What is the data type for employee ID? You cannot tell by looking at this because it could be a number or a varchar, right? So all you have to do is just go to,
Actually, you can say
how can you say this is a number or data type?
the number is going to be on the right side, the string is going to be on the left side.
Always? Okay, I didn't
Yes.
know that. Yeah, this is on the right side. This is a number field. This is a number field.
If you check the string, it's going to be on the left side.
Yeah, this is all strings. Okay. Yeah, but that is one way. The other way is just the other way is you can just type in describe. You can just describe this table. You can just type in describe this table and it will tell you employee ID is number. Okay, or you can write a query select star from all tab column where column where owner equals HR and table underscore name equals employees and table underscore and column underscore name equals employee underscore ID. Okay, this is the second way. It will tell you that number. The third way is just double click on the table and go to the columns tab and it will say here. So there are like 3-4 ways of doing it. One way is like someone just said, numbers are always on the right side. Varchar starts from the left side. The second way is you can describe a table. Third way is query this table, all tab columns. Fourth one is double click on this table. Okay. Now coming back to, so my question was, do I always need to create this data type? Do I need to type in if it's an integer or a number or something? I don't need to. Okay. For example, this table, employee ID is number, right? So I don't feel like typing it's an integer or whatever. So all I will do is, let me make this simple. Okay, the value of a is I don't feel like typing. I don't feel like typing this data type here. So I'm going to use something called as anchored. You're going to use something called as anchored data type, or I'm going to borrow the data type. I'm going to borrow the data type from an existing table in the database. Is that clear? So how will I do it? So over here, I will just type in, I will get rid of this and I will type in employee. I will type in, what is the table name? Employees. So employees dot employee underscore ID. So I will type in which tables, which column I'm borrowing. So this is the table name, and this is the column name I'm borrowing, right? And over here, I will just type in. Is this clear? So I'm saying go and borrow the data type from here. And I can just execute this. Is that clear?
I have still confusion in person type.
What is the confusion?
It's a person type. It's a person sign.
Yes.
Okay.
See, this is what I wrote before, right? This is what I had before, right? I don't want to type integer. This will work. So I don't want to declare a data type here. I can take an existing data type which is present in the table and use it in my block. So I'm copying the data type for this one. I'm copying the data type for this one. I'm saying over here, I'm saying a integer equals to 10. I'm saying I don't want to use integer, instead borrow the data type from this one. This is called as anchored data type. Okay. So I'm saying table name dot column name percentile type. So it will copy the type of data type I have for this table and for this column. Is that clear?
Okay.
So what happens if I type in, instead of employee underscore ID, what happens if I type in first underscore name here? Will this work?
No, it will take another one, the first name. May not will work because it's a string.
Yes, correct. So first underscore name is varchar, right? First underscore name is varchar. So can I assign the value 10 to varchar?
Nope.
You can assign, right? Varchar can take in numbers, data types, special characters. Actually, it should have been something like this. Okay. So this, the data type for first name is varchar. Varchar can take in first numbers, alphabets 0 to 9, A to Z. So what does varchar take in? Can take in 0 to 9, can take in A to Z, then it can take in uppercase A to Z, and then it can take in all these special characters, right? But let's do the opposite of that. So I will say employee underscore ID. And over here, I type in A, B, C, something like this. Will this work?
No.
This will not work. This employee underscore ID is number. In number data type, you cannot pass in. So it still says numeric value allowed. So you can only enter numeric values. Is that clear? So I can only enter
Yes.
numeric values here. See, value of that is, what if I, will this work? Will this work? So this is employee ID is number data type. So I am entering numbers here. Will this work?
If it's more than length, it won't work, right?
Okay, so it says precision too large because the anchored data type is a number field, which is good. I am entering numbers, but it says you can only enter numbers up to 6 characters. You cannot enter something more than 6 characters. So over here I entered something. So I cannot enter any value greater than this. This is the maximum value I can enter. Anything greater than that, it will error out. So if I enter 1 here, this will not work. So in other words, anchor data type means precision to learn. In other words, anchor data type means it will take an existing column and data type and pass it into your block. Is that clear?
Yes.
Abdul, the null is working over there instead of the nines. Let's see. Is there any time that we can put the null or any space?
Over here. Number data type only takes values 0 to 9.
No, when it is a varchar. So can we make it is a is anytime is like a zero, like a not zero but a null as a value?
Yeah, so you're saying first underscore name. This is varchar. Okay. Over here, you want to pass null like this.
Yes.
Yeah, this should work, right?
Work, right?
Yeah, it should work. Clear?
Yes.
Will this work? First name worked. Will last name work?
Yes.
Yeah. So anchor data type is you will take an existing column present in the database and apply the length, all the values associated with it. Like you will assign the data type. Okay, over here, will this work? This will work, right? I'll say the value of A is up to. Will this work?
No.
Because the length is only 20 characters. It will again say you cannot enter a value which is too big. Here, you can only enter 20 characters here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, or maybe 20. Enter this. Anything greater than that, it will not enter. Okay, simple. Whatever we did today is pretty simple. We didn't get into too much details. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, so let me see. Data types, variables. Go through all of these variables. Constants and literals I covered today. Operators. This is how you assign equal symbol. Sorry, constants and literals. Okay, and operators, conditions. I'm checking everything before I start loops. Okay. So now, so anchor data types is clear, right? So let me clear this out. Okay. Now we are going to do something called as loops, which are very important. Okay, this from here this is where it gets interesting. Okay, in Oracle you had case and decode. Remember? If this, then do this. If salary is, if employee's salary, for example, let me show you that. Select employee underscore ID. salary from HR dot so my requirement here is if person's salary is less than 5,000, I want to display poor. If salary is between 5,000 and 10,000, then I want to display middle class. And if salary is greater than 10,000, then I want to display rich. Okay, so I will say select employee ID salary, and then I will type in case when salary less than 5,000, then poor. Okay, I will type in when salary between 5,000 and 10,000, then middle class. Or I can just type in last line. I can type in when salary greater than 10,000, then rich. Then I will have to type in end as status or financial status. I can call it whatever I want. So I will get I will get the financial status. I don't have to write this last line. I can just comment this out, and I can just say if this, then this, else. I can just say else. If anybody doesn't fall into these two brackets, so I don't have to write the third condition. I can say else. If I don't have this, if I have this one is called if then. If then. If I have this, it means if then else. Else means it doesn't satisfy any condition, then do this. Why is 6,000 coming in as rich? And salary between, why is, oh, sorry, not 1,000, 10,000. Yeah, the middle class, salary. So when I say between 5,000 and 10,000, it will not take in 10,000. Okay. So this is if then else, and you can do the same thing with the help of decode also. Okay. Now, how do you do the same thing in? How do you do the same thing in PLSQL? Where is my? Okay, I think I deleted. Okay. So there are three different ways you can do it. Okay, there are three different ways you can write an if. And write if then. Okay, you can three different ways you can do that. Now, first way is, let me write something simple. Declare a integer, and then I will say equals to 10, and then I will type in begin. I will say dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Now over here I will say dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. I will type in a message here. If value of a sorry, I will say So we'll type in begin. I will say if then, right? So I will type in if a equals to, if a equals to 10, then display dbms underscore output if a equals to 10, then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. This is a valid value. Okay, this is a valid value. Begin if a equals 10. Okay, then I will say and okay. If a equals to 10, then I will have to say end if somewhere. Yeah, whenever you type in if, you will have to end with an end if. Okay. So I wrote a statement, declare. Okay. Over here, I'm just doing if, I'm just writing an if statement. Okay. So I'm saying declare a is integer 10. Begin if a equals to 10, then dbms underscore dot output dot put underscore line. This is a valid value. Okay. Now over here, I'm saying if a equals to 9. Okay. Internally, outside, I'm giving the value 10. Internally, I'm giving the value 9, right? Then I will say this is an invalid value. Or over here, if I say if this is not equals to 9, if a not equals to 9, this is an invalid value. Okay, so now I'm seeing this value, this is invalid value. Okay, so over here, I'm doing a simple if statement. Okay, now I can build on top of it. Over here, I can type in declare a integer, and then I will say equals, sorry, integer means I no single quotes, 10, and then I will say, then I will give it another value. I will say b integer 20, and then I will say I started declare, I gave it one value a integer 20, and then I said b integer a integer 10, b integer 20, and then I will say begin. Okay, over here I will type in my if statement, if a greater than b. If a is greater than b, then display dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. I will say, I will over here say a is greater than b, is greater than b. Okay, else I will say if this condition is not satisfied, then do this, then b is greater than a. Okay, then I will type and if, and then end. Is this clear? So I am passing two variable integers. A is 10, b is 20. I'm saying if a is greater than b. So first it will check. If a is greater than b, then it will display this. If a is not greater than b, then it will display this. So I'm going to execute this. So I will say b is greater than a, right? Is that clear? Now I can build on top of this. I can say declare a integer I'm going to declare a as integer, and I will say equals to 10. Then I will say b integer equals to 20. Then I'm going to start the body of my block, begin. I will type in if a is greater than b, then dbms underscore, if it's doing this, if this condition is true, then do this. If then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So what will I display here? A is greater than B. Okay. Then I will write another if statement. Over here I wrote if statement and then I exit it out. Right? I will write another if statement. I will over here I will type in if. I'm going to write two if statement. If B is greater than A, then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. And then I can say B is greater than A. Okay. Then I can write a third statement. I can say if A equals B, then I can display dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. I will say A is equal to B. And then I will type in and if. So if I am starting with if, then I will have to type in end if. And I will have to type in end. That's clear? Declare A as integer 10, B as integer 10, begin. If A is greater than B, then display this. If B is greater than A, then display this. If A is equals to B, then display this. And if, and then end. So let me execute this. Why is there when expecting?
One more and if, because there is two if. I
Again,
think.
I'm not sure if we need that end if. Do we need it?
yeah, if you have an if statement, if then if, oh, you have to type in
If you type else, probably
yeah, you
then
will
you
type
need
in else
end
if,
if. Yeah.
Oh, else if. Okay.
and then you will
Yeah.
type in else if.
Yeah. Now end if should be okay, I guess.
No, and then you will have to type in you'll have to just type in else here. If A is greater than B, then do this. Else, if B greater than A, then do this. Okay. Declare A as integer 10, B as integer 20. Begin. If A is greater than B, then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line this. Else if. So if, else if, and else. So this should be the final condition. So if you execute this, so you will get the value B is greater than A. Okay. So now if I put value here 20 and over here if I put 10. So in this one, this condition will get triggered. Okay, over here, this condition will get triggered. Okay, A is greater than B. A is 20. Now if I put 10 and 10, this condition will not get triggered. First it will come here, this is false. Then it will go here, this is false. Then it will go to the last condition. So let me execute this. So it says both are equal. So this is how you write your if statements. If, else if, and then else. And then you end it with end if. the first condition, if A is greater than B, then do this. Else, if B greater than A, then do this. Finally, if it's not this one or this one, just do this. This is like what I did here. Where is my, I had that case statement, right? Did I delete it? Oh, I deleted that rich poor. Okay. So anyways, so this is how the conditions should either fall into this bracket or this bracket or this bracket. If it's the final condition, if it's not this one or this one, you can just do it this one. Remember this one, the third condition I had, else rich, right? I'm not putting any condition here, right? Over here I put this condition, over here I put this condition, over here I did not put any condition. This is just like the select statement I wrote, select employee underscore ID, salary is when salary less than 5,000, then or when salary between 5,000 and 10,000, then middle class. When salary, so over here you third statement you can write when salary greater than 10,000, then rich. Okay, this is optional. You can type in end as financial status from HR.employees. Okay, you can do this, but this final line is optional. You don't have to write the final condition because it's either this one or this one. Then it's this one. Then you can just say then rich. Sorry, you can just say else rich. This will also work. Same way over here, the final over here, I did not type any other condition, right? So I'm saying if it doesn't belong to this bracket or this bracket, then just display this. Okay, and always remember whenever you have an if, you have to end it with an end if. That's clear? And then you can make it better here. You can say a pipe a pipe A is greater than B, and over here you can say and value of A is, you can type in pipe A. See what happens when I execute this. So the A is greater than B and value of A is 20. So if I make this as 10 and this as 20, now I will not get the value of B is something like this because it's triggering the second condition and it's only doing this first time. So I'm going to, you can type in and value of B is, you can just say pipe B. See, B is greater than A and the value of A is 20. Okay, so and both are equal, and then you can say and both have a value of either A or B. Okay, let me just execute this. So I'm still saying B is greater than A and value of B is 20. Now let me make both of these as 20. Now it will say trigger this one. Both are equal and both are equal and both have a value. Both have a value. Both have a value of 20. Is this clear? So you shouldn't put values over here, always use declare the variables, because if you're using this like 10 different times, you will have to come here and change the, if you're hard coding 10, 10, 20 here, you have to come here and change values everywhere. If you're doing it globally, those values will apply globally here. So you will type in if A greater than B, then do this. Else if, you can have many else if, you can have many else if. Okay, and then the final one, you will just have one else. Is this clear? So you have three types of if then. Okay, in PLSQL you have if, the first one we did was if. Then we have if then. Then we have if then else. Okay, this is the example. This is the example of if then else. Okay, this is the example of if else, if then else, if then, and if then else. Okay, so we never use these two. So what is the problem of using if then? So I will declare an integer a20, b as integer, a as integer 10, b as integer 20, and I say begin. If is a greater than b, then value of a is greater than b, else I'm doing this. Okay, what if both of them are 20 and 20? It doesn't satisfy this condition or this condition, right? Right? So that is the reason you always use this one. Where is that? If then else. If then else if. Where is that? This one. You always use if. If it's not satisfying, then do this. If it doesn't satisfy this condition, you can do else, means finally I give up. It doesn't satisfy any of these. And you can have multiple else if. You can have one if, else if, else if, else if, and then final else, and then end it. Okay, go through these conditions. So we'll stop here, go through all of these conditions, and tomorrow we will look into loops here. Anybody has any questions with what we did so far? Start with the basic syntax. Okay, start with the basic syntax and go with the data types. So I covered only one data type. I covered only one data type, right? So we have many data types. Like for example, you have, I only covered integer. So you can say declare a varchar 256 as hello world, and you can say begin, and you can say dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. You can just display a. Oh wait, this needs to be in small quotes. Oh no. Then you can just type in end. What is wrong with this? Begin dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So declare a varchar2 hello world begin dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and I said a. Encounter the symbol. Oh, sorry. See, I missed one. So this will work now. So it displayed the message hello world. Okay, you can use varchar, and I already used integer and numbers. You have other data types. So go through the different data types here. Okay. Basically, we stick with dates, varchar, numbers, integer. You don't have to go more than that. Variables is how you declare a global variable and how you declare a local variable. Local variable will always take preference over. Um, over here, you can again say hello world today. So if I execute this, it will display hello world today because this will, sorry. So this will take preference over this one. It will display hello world today because this one will, local will take preference over global, whether it's a number or a varchar or anything. Then yeah, constants and literals. So if you declare something as constant locally, you cannot declare it anything because it's become a constant. It's not a variable anymore. And if you're declaring a number and if you say it's not null, you immediately have to pass a value to it. You cannot pass null to it locally. So when you say not null, you can pass a value here and then you can change it internally. But when you say constant, you have to immediately pass a value and you cannot pass any other value here. Then the if then, so what we did, so this is the if then else, if then else if. So we are saying if A is greater than B, then display this. Else if, display this. Else if another condition, if it doesn't satisfy this and this, just display this. Is that clear? And then we also did anchored data type. If you do not want to declare a data type like this, you can simply say you can get rid of and then you can type in the table name, employees, and then you can type in the column name, and you can type in percentile type. Okay, this will also work. Okay, both have an equal value of 20. So we did anchored data types as well.
Abdul, I have a question. Can you show us if then else on the employees table?
On the employees table?
Yes.
Yeah, over here, right? I have. Oh, you mean this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, for that I would have to show you cursor. So if you want to bring in data from another table into this block, I will have to show you cursors.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I don't want to start that topic today, but yeah, you can do that.
okay.
Okay. So let's look at some of the. Hold on 1 second. I uploaded some interview questions. Are you guys comfortable with all the interview questions? The SQL interview questions. You guys should know all of those interview questions, okay? This one. Actually, I already have the answers there. Let me open them. You guys can see my screen, right? Okay, you don't need this. Different kinds of joins. Difference between where and having. Difference between where and having. How do you find duplicates in a table? Who can tell me how do you find okay, what are the different joins in SQL? Who can tell me this?
So there are like different kinds of joins. We have the inner join, left join, right join, and left outer join.
Left join and left outer join are the same. So you have inner join, left join, right join, full outer, and self join.
Full outer and self join.
Okay, there is also a Cartesian join. I did not cover that, right? Do you guys know what a Cartesian join is?
No.
So I showed you left. Sorry, I showed you inner join. This is left table, right table. This is inner join. This is left join. This is right join. This is full outer, and this is a self join. When two columns, remember the self join. There is something called as a Cartesian join. Okay, there is something called as a Cartesian join. For example, you have data like this. One, you have emp ID, name, department ID. You have one, Abdul, 10. Then you have two. Can everybody go on mute, please? Okay. You have department table, and you have department table, and you have department ID, then you have department name. Okay, first tell me, suppose in my department table I have two departments like this. What will happen here? We never covered this scenario, right? If I'm doing a left join, what will be my output? First of all, tell me what will be my output if I do an equi-join here? What will be my output when I do an equi-join here?
1 Abdul 10.
Equal
Yeah,
one.
but
It will
10
take
what?
just one, both.
Do I get IT or HR?
IT.
No, you will get both. Your output will be like this. You will get, when you do an equi-join, you will get the matching records, right? So there are two matching records. There are two matching records. So this will be your output. Clear?
Can you have department 10 IT and then HR?
No, I'm saying usually it will not be there. It will not be there. But if you have a scenario where you have one on the left side and then two matching records on the right side, you will display both. Okay. If you do an equi-join, this will be your output. If you do a left join, this will be your output. But you will get everything from the left table and only matching from the right table. If you do right outer join, this will be your output. If you do right outer join, this will be your output. If you do full outer join, this will be your output. That here you will get all matching and non-matching records. Okay. So anyways, so let's go back to the interview questions. Different kinds of joins. You have left join, you have equi-join, left join, right join, full outer join, and then you have self join. You also have a Cartesian join. Okay. What does a Cartesian join do? Suppose you have data like this. Cartesian join will take this and it will join with everything here. Then it will take this and join with everything here. It will take this and join with everything over here. It will take this and join with everything over here. So how many records will you have? You will have 5 times 4. You will have 20 records here. You will have one Abdul. Oh, sorry, where is my department table? Oh, sorry, here. So if I do a Cartesian join, it will join with I will have 1 Abdul, 10 IT, 20 sales, 40 HR, 2 Turab, 10 IT, 20 sales, 40 HR, 3 Sam, 10 IT, 20 sales, 40 HR. It will join with everything. Okay, so that is one more. So over here you will have inner join, left, right, full, and self join I showed, and then you will have Cartesian join. Okay, what is the difference between where and having? Who can say this? Who can tell me this? Guys, come on.
So on where we have just only one value for which we search for, and in having we can give a range between like two different quantities that we can
No,
look
that
at.
is not right. Can somebody else try?
We only use having when there is aggregate function that is stated in the select
Very good.
statement.
Where is used to filter out data. Is used to filter data on a column. Okay. Having is also used to filter data. When we use aggregate functions like min, max, and we also use group by. Where and having both are used to filter out data. Where is used to simply filter data on a column. Having is used to filter data when we use min, max in the select statement, and we have group by. How do you find duplicates in a table? Who can answer this? How do you find duplicates in a table?
Distinct the function.
No, that
We
is
use
not.
ID,
Huh?
row ID,
Oh,
or
sorry.
No.
number.
No. Sonia, can you try? I want to find duplicates in a table. How will I find duplicates in a table? Guys, this is very important. How come you guys are taking it so easy?
Filter where.
Huh?
Filter where.
No, that is also wrong.
Group by?
Group by is like 25% of the answer. Okay, select
Group by and having
column
is
one.
going to be the max greater than 1, then it's going to find all of the duplicates.
Select column count star.
And this count star is going to be greater than 1, then it's going to find all of the duplicates.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Group by column having count star greater than 1. This is how you find out duplicates in a table. Having count star greater than 1. Guys, don't take it easy. How do you delete duplicates in a table? Somebody just answered this.
Yeah, row ID.
You can delete it with the help of row ID.
Row ID.
Okay. Don't just say row ID. Give them the complete answer. You have to type in delete from table where row ID not in select min or max min row ID from table group by column. Okay, it will pick up all the minimum row IDs and it will delete everything from those table except this one. Okay, different constraints you have worked: primary key, unique, not null, default, check, and foreign key constraint. So 6. What is performance tuning? How do you increase the performance of a query? You check the explain plan. If it's doing a full table scan, you will create an index on the columns used in the wait statement and on the columns on which you're joining. If the column has a lot of duplicates, you use you create bitmap. If a column does not have too many duplicates, you create B tree. What is a trigger and why is it used? As you guys were supposed to
So let us know the change on the column.
You're supposed to write down notes, take printouts, have it by your desk, or you have to go through all of these. Trigger is used to track changes on sensitive columns in the database. It is used for security reasons. Okay. What is the difference between row ID and row num?
Row ID, it's automatic numbers, which is given by SQL. By row num, it's unique.
Opposite, Kamran.
You said the opposite.
I'm in opposite. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Difference between rank and dense rank?
Rank is gonna skip the sequence number. Dense rank doesn't skip.
Correct. What are the different analytical functions you have worked with? You can say rank, dense rank, nth value, first value. Okay. What is an index? I just already gave this. What is an index? Can someone tell me what is an index?
It's basically to help with sorting or using the
This is very bad.
key.
This is very bad.
Yeah.
Index is a database object which is used for fast retrieval of data. What are the different indexes in Oracle? Bitmap, B-tree. When do you use which one? Bitmap when the column has too many duplicates. B-tree when column does not have too many duplicates like primary key. What is the difference between DDL and DML?
It's the DDL is for structure for creating table, drop table, and DML for insert, update, delete. In
Okay.
DDL, you don't need to commit; it's automatic. And DML, you have to commit.
Correct. Okay. What is a view? What is a view, and what are the advantages?
I think view is the thing. It's not stored in the hard disk, but from the select statement, according to the requirement, you can create your own view.
Correct.
And
what are the advantages? There are two advantages.
Advantages. The advantages is I think it's more fast as compared to the that select statement, and security is more fast and.
No.
It's showing the dynamic, always showing the dynamic data, always the latest data.
Okay, it is always showing the latest data. And what are the other advantages? You don't have to write the query every time.
Oh yes, latest data, absolutely correct. Yeah.
You won't have to write the data. You won't have to write this query every time because you can just do select star on the view. For example, you have a huge query which is joining multiple tables, where statements.
Yes.
Okay, you don't have to execute that query, copy that query, paste it in a notepad and have it saved. You can save that view in the database. So if anybody wants to join multiple tables, they'll just do simply select star on the view.
Every time you can execute view, then yes.
And then what is the third advantage? It is used for security reasons. For example, if there are sensitive columns and you don't want to expose the sensitive columns to users, you can build a view on top of that table and say, okay, this is the data you want. Clear?
Right.
See, I covered this. It stores the query in database, security reasons, always has the latest data. Okay. Difference between view and materialized view.
We always have to refresh the materialized view to see the latest data.
Correct.
Because it's storing always the still information.
Okay, that is a disadvantage of materialized view. And then what is the advantage of materialized view?
Advantage is that you can create the index on materialized view.
Very good. You can create indexes on materialized view because it exists on the disk. So you can create an index and make it faster. Okay. Difference between delete and truncate, and which one is faster?
I think the truncate is faster.
Cannot use the word think, maybe. You have to
TDL.
say, yeah.
TDL and faster.
Truncate is faster than delete. Okay. And with truncate, you cannot recover the data. With delete, you can do a rollback. You can just type in rollback, semicolon, and it will return the data.
Yes.
Can a column with unique constraints have nulls?
Can a column with unique
Yes, because nulls are all unique.
No two nulls are same. Okay. What is the difference between union and union all?
Union will not take the duplicates, remove the duplicates. Union all takes all of them. Correct. All duplicates.
Correct. In Power Center, it's the opposite. I will cover that when we come to Power Center.
SQL on the Union no duplicates, but Power Center always take the duplicates.
Yeah.
Show that is, I mean, display the duplicates.
What is NVL, and when is this used?
It is
NVL is used when there is no value in the column or something. So then we use the NVL for, we can give any value, or if it's a space, so instead of that, we put the 0 or any number. So that's the reason we use NVL for that.
So it's used to handle null values. So if you have a column which has null values in it and you don't want to display the value null, you can display 0 or data not available or whatever you want. Okay, what is the difference between decode and case?
Okay, decode and case, as you said, the case is much faster than decode. In the case, it's logical. We do if, and all those things.
Yeah.
In decode, yes.
And the biggest
Decode
difference
cannot be used for the range.
Very good. That's what I was looking for. So in decode, you cannot say between, you cannot say greater than, you cannot say less than. So somebody just said you cannot operators. You can use very limited operators. You can only use equal.
Decode is restricted, yes.
Yeah, like case I showed today, we can use between, greater than, salary greater than 10,000. In decode, you cannot show. But in decode, you have to write a formula and say, remember, I wrote a formula.
Yes.
So, yeah, so you will have to do it a bit. You have to. It's a bit tricky. So, what is a sequence generator in Oracle? What is a sequence generator in Oracle?
It is a sequence.
It is a database object,
which is like it gives you the.
Which inserts values in order.
Itself,
that's it.
Yes, MPID. We don't put always like MPID 1, 2, 3. It gives automatically.
Yeah. So what is that's what I'm asking. So what is a sequence generator? It is a database object which is used to insert values in sequence in a column. Suppose I use a sequence generator on a table and I inserted 5 values into it. And then I use it on a second table. What will be the value in the second table? The first record which I insert, will it be 1 or will it be 6? I use a sequence generator. I inserted 5 values into a table. I use the same sequence generator. I insert into another table.
6.
It's going to be 6. Yeah, it's going to be 6.
Same sequence is going to be 6, but the new sequence is going to start from 1 or whatever we keep.
The starting value. Okay. How do you change the structure of a table?
With alter.
Okay.
With the alter command also.
With alter command also, it only alter command. Update is used to change data inside the table. Okay. What is the difference between ltrim and lpad?
lpad gives the space
from the left side
and treats the whatever letter or numbers that we want from
the
left.
Yeah, ltrim will trim characters on the left. Lpad will add values. Yeah, but there is okay. There is something else I'm looking for, which I explained. This is a simple answer. Ltrim will trim characters on the left side. Lpad will add characters on the left side. But there is something else. What if lpad can also be used as ltrim, right? Yes or no? You guys forgot. So I have A, B, C. Okay, I have a column and I have values A, B, C. If I say ltrim, if I use ltrim, this column is called name, and I say remove A. What will the output be? It will be BC, right? Right?
Yes.
Now if I say rpad, the name column, okay, and if I say 2, but there is already 3 characters in here. So what will be the output? It will be BC, right? Why are you guys so confused? Like I'm showing this for the first time. Is this clear or no?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's clear. If I put 4, it will be space ABC, right? rpad means it will add characters on the left side. But over here, if I have a value 2, which is, and I already have ABC here, so it will ensure that everything in this column is 2 characters only, so it will get rid of this 2. So rpad can be equal to ltrim. That's the reason I asked, what is the difference between ltrim and rpad? Try this out. Doesn't look like you guys are comfortable. What is dual in Oracle?
Calculator?
Like we said,
Dual is not an operator.
select sys date from dual. So it is
Yeah, I know that, but what is dual?
from the
Specific
system,
table.
It is to you can use it as a calculator or any kind of
It is used to perform operations in a table.
operations.
That is it. Somebody is saying sysdate, somebody is saying multiplication. Or dual is a dummy table provided by Oracle to perform calculations or operations. What is SQL loader? What is SQL loader?
To SQL
load
loader
the data.
load the data to the table.
SQL loader is a utility provided by Oracle to load huge quantities of flat file into table. If you have a huge text file or a CSV, you can load it directly into the table. You have to have a control file for it. Okay, partitions in a table, Google that. What is instring and substring?
Substring is show us like whatever
from the column you pick and
instance.
Can you say that again? What does substring do? Just one person answer.
You showed today, I think also right now. The substring is that from the column 1, 3. So after that 1 and its count, then 3 is a substring, and the insert gives you the value actually.
You guys are giving me a half answer. Substring is used to calculate, is used to grab part of the string. If I have a huge string, I want to get part of the string, then I use substring. If I say substring column name, comma 1, comma 3, it will give me the first 3 characters. If I say 1, comma 2, it will give me the first 2 characters. Instring is used to find out the position of a string in a big string. For example, I have 1, 2, 3 dot 4, 5, 6. I want to find out the position of the dot, then I use instring.
It return the value in a string, yes.
Okay, suppose I have a table, I have a column, employee ID, and in this one I have employee ID 1, 2, 3, ABC, 4, 5, 6, DEF. I only want to display all employee IDs which have number in it. How would I do it? This was actually asked on Friday. This question was asked on Friday. This question was asked on Friday by Infosys. See, these are some of the questions, and I covered this in class on Sunday. On Saturday,
It was is a reg, right? It searched the numbers, then displays us under the numbers.
What? You guys are taking it very easy. You guys are taking it very, very easy.
We're gonna use the function replace, I believe, expression and then reverse.
Why are you bringing reverse and all of that into this?
We use case when.
No.
We have to define if it's varchar, let's say A to Z, for example, and then I think we're gonna use the case.
Nope.
I just forgot the name. It was
I have
last class. It was a regexp or something else.
Okay, that is correct. So I have this table. I have these employee IDs. I only want to display all employee IDs which have numbers in it. So how will I do this? How will I do this? Where like exp underscore like
emp ID and then the square single quotes and then and
Okay.
0 to 9.
Then reverse emp ID.
Why are you reversing? Why are you
You-
reversing? I
Did
never
you
asked.
ask?
I'm not asking you to reverse the data, right?
Oh, I thought you want to see the reverse. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Once again, I think I asked the question 4 or 5 times. I have this table. I only want to display employee IDs which have numbers in it.
Oh, I see.
So you use reg exp. So you say select star from table with reg exp underscore like, and what is the column I have? Emp ID, right? Emp ID.
Abdullah, maybe percentile, you're missing percentile.
No, this is
Abdul, what about this true? Take out this true.
Yeah, I don't understand this equals true.
so only if it's, hold on 1 second. So this will display all employees which have employee IDs have an as number in it. Is that clear?
Yes.
This is an actual interview question which was asked on Friday. Where is that question? See, this is about performance tuning. Besides indexes, okay. So yeah, anyways, so this is an actual interview question, okay? Infosys, it was asked on Friday. So if a table has numbers and okay, what if I want employee IDs which have characters in it? Varchar?
We would put A to Z instead of 0
Very
to
good.
9.
You'll put A to Z.
Well, Varchar can have numbers as well. So maybe comma 0 to 9 or something.
No, if you put,
No?
so in this case, see, in this case, I do not have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Then that would not work. Over here, I'm saying, what does this A to Z means? Display all columns which have at least one occurrence
Only
of
characters, yeah.
only characters, only numbers. But you're right. If I had something which had 1, 2, 3, A, B, then even then this would have been true. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes.
Guys, go through these questions. Go through. I'm not happy with the way you guys answered. You guys answered half of it. You need to answer these questions like without any issues. See, I'm for this batch. I'm teaching PLSQL also. I never showed PLSQL for any of the previous batches. Okay, so yeah. So please go through all the questions. Reg exp. There was one more. There was one more thing I showed. The reason I'm showing this is because some of you left. There is another question. Select or from
The replace one, right?
yeah. So the question was, I want to capture only the numbers from this location. So I have varchar, this is this, and everything. So how do I capture only this one? So you use something like this only. So you will say restaurant underscore ID, restaurant underscore LOC, and then I can either use substring and then in string and all of that, or I can just use reg exp underscore extract. Is it reg exp underscore extract?
We did replace it.
Replaced. We
Oh,
did
replace.
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 Okay, right. Reg, you're right. Reg underscore exp underscore replace the restaurant location, and then I want to replace anything which has alphabets in it with space. So I will say, so the same thing here. If I have any alphabets, replace it with space. Reg replace restaurant underscore location. Oh, because it has uppercase also, right? So right now it's only replacing the lowercase with space. Wherever it's uppercase, it's not replacing it with. So I will type in. Is that clear? Why this is not working right now? Only replacing the lowercase because I said A to Z lowercase. So I will put A to Z uppercase also. Wait, how did I do this last time?
We did this like the what was that upper sign? The arrow, the upper arrow. I think before. Yeah.
All right. The caret symbol. Okay. Okay. No.
No, it was right in front of the A. If we put it right in front, yeah, inside.
Wait. Hold on, guys. Let me check. Sorry, I'll just finish this. No, where did I save the answers? Reg underscore exp underscore replace, and then restaurant location. Oh, I didn't put A to Z. Did the opposite. Okay. So it will find out everything except 0 to 9 and replace it with space. This means except. That clear? Okay. Go through the questions and we will have a class tomorrow. Okay. Start going through all of these PLSQL. Start going through all the PLSQL stuff. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5:30.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.